All right, today I'm going to break down the profitability of my 5 party service side hustles from the most profitable to the least profitable. Hi, I'm Emily. I get paid to party. I run a handful of party service businesses out of my house. I show you guys behind the scenes of how you can make hundreds to thousands of dollars a month from home. Follow along if you're interested. Okay, so I have 5 party service businesses, and let's start with the ones that are the most profitable per event down to the least. The first one that's going to be most profitable is the foam parties, F-O-A-M. And that's because once you buy your foam cannon, you're not continually needing to replace a bunch of equipment. So your cost per event is going to be your foam solution, which for a normal like 1 to 2 hour booking is usually anywhere from like $20 to $50 worth of foam solution, depending on how thick you're making your solution. And then obviously you need to factor insurance into each one and your either employee cost or your own time. So that's really all that you are factoring in cost-wise. And the setup time for a foam party is so much quicker than anything else I do. Maybe like 15 minutes, or maybe like half an hour if you're new and still kind of learning, but not a ton of time to set it up. Then when the party's over, it's also a quick breakdown. So that one is gonna have the highest profitability. You can charge anywhere, an hour party here starting is around like $350-ish. 2 hours can get you close to $500, somewhere around there. So really good profitability. The second one for me is going to be, the next most profitable is going to be the Nerf Wars parties. That one is not as profitable as the foam party, although I can charge a little bit more right now for a Nerf Wars party, it seems, than I can for the foam. But here's the difference. We have more equipment that needs to be replaced more often. So the Nerf blasters, Nerf darts, we have like jerseys if those get ripped, the protective eyewear. There's just more things that need to be replaced much more often, where that does not come into play with the foam cannons. Also, it's more labor intensive because instead of a quick like 15 to 30 minute setup, we're looking more between 1 to 2 hours for setup and usually about an hour of breakdown. So you're gonna pay more employee costs or labor costs there. So that's gonna rank number 2. And for like a standard like 2 hour party, we're looking in the range of $500 to $600. The third, when we're looking at profitability, is it's kind of a toss-up, honestly, between the bouquet bars and the party rental. Because the cost of flowers with a bouquet bar, it's not a ton of work, but like if you have a big event, you may need 8 to 10 hours of prep work. And then you have to factor in the cost of flowers. So my last like big event I did was about 50% profit margin, which is really good. And it's kind of a toss-up with party rentals, because party rentals, once you're paying off your items, which I price my rental items to where they're typically, most of them are paid off after 2 to 3 rentals. So then there's not any of that overhead there. And as long as you can maintain your equipment and you're not replacing it way too often, your only overhead is the employee time of getting stuff, like getting it ready to go out, and then when it comes back in, checking it in. So those two are very close. 3 and 4 would be bouquet bar and party rentals. They kind of go back and forth there. Bouquet bars typically is a higher price point per event than what I'm making with party rentals. So I may say bouquet bars number 3, party rentals number 4. All these things you have to factor in, just anything that can go wrong, though that can be an added cost. And then 5 with the least profitability by far is going to be our mobile video game truck. And that is just because I've talked about this a lot before. Video game trucks are very expensive to maintain. The cost of gas to get places, so we have a pull truck that has to pull the truck and it gets terrible gas mileage because it's pulling a giant trailer. We have generators that have to be filled up with gas all the time to run the truck, and then just stuff breaks down all the time. We get flat tires and blowouts and broken ACs and broken generators, and the axle on the trailer breaks off, just so much stuff. And then not to mention needing to upgrade the gaming equipment inside the truck because people are expecting newer equipment. Controllers that work, that don't have drift and lag and all of that. So we are constantly replacing stuff. So the profit margin on that business is actually extremely hard to even track, because you can have some quarters where things are, in the winter when it's not as hot, less things tend to break. So you can have good quarters. Here in the summer when things break all the time, our profit margins can just absolutely tank. So that one is by far the least profitable, but in the true turn of events of how things go, that one also makes us the most money and is the most consistent because it's the oldest and the most popular. So I'm trying to grow some of these other ones with much better profitability to get to that level, to bring in the sort of income that we bring in from the game truck. It's a lot. But ask me any questions you've got, I'll answer to the best of my abilities.